What was it like interacting with young black kids growing up?
For me, it was fairly easy once I started like really running the streets and understanding gangs, and I wanted to be a part of that because I seen unity, people, but I would always get into problems because I took like this hate on for all men. So the people that took a liking to me would grab me because they're thinking is like, oh, son Pops, you know, he would definitely, you know, he responds with violence. So my neighborhood was always like a place where there was always like gangs, if you want to call it that. I come from Sunset Park. It's like, you know, the dirty ones, the assassinators, the Bayoks, HBO, a lot of crap. Now you go to Sunset Park, it's a big mixture. But we also, you know, we grew up with like Sean, Alf, Black Dave. Like there's people in our neighborhood that are literally black that grew up with us. You know what I'm saying? That they don't hang out with nobody else but probably the majority of Puerto Ricans. You feel me? That you just probably think he's a dark-skinned Puerto Rican. You know, I'm not a light-skinned dude myself. You know, I may look lighter in my videos and all that based on light and content creation lights. You know, you can never have enough lights if you know about content. Yeah. But, yeah, it was easy for me. And just based on the fact that I have people that are black in my actual family, like nieces, nephews. You know, I had problems with blacks, of course, because I did bids. I was a member of the Almighty Latin King Nation for almost 30 years. So these things happen in life, but it was no different from giving it to a black dude in the same sense that I would give it to a Hispanic dude. There's no difference. You feel me?
Okay, cool. All right, so of course I don't want to get too much in your business, but how old were you when you first started getting involved with the Latin Kings, and what drew you to the Latin Kings?
In my neighborhood, there was like a dude that I grew up with. I love him. He's like one of my brothers. I know him for a lot of years. His name is Rob Keg, and he had the paperwork to the Latin Kings. I don't know how he got it, or I don't know if it was the fake paperwork or whatever it was. You feel me? Because down the line, I got the original copies of whatever. But I was always, like the same way I just started saying in my neighborhood, like I'm Decepticon when Dad was around. And nobody made me Decepticon. I pulled a blue move, if you want to call it that. Dude that just claimed Crip. I did that when I was a kid. Respectfully to everybody. I claimed Decepticon. I ran with it. It was me. I was really believing that in my head. And everybody around me was believing that. I did the same thing with the Almighty Latin King Nation, kind of, sort of, because I was just given the paperwork. And just claimed king in my neighborhood. Nobody really knew what they was really doing at that point. Like, I didn't see a lot of kings. I thought like it was a thing for my block. Like, oh, Rob gave me this paperwork. I learned it. I'm king. You know, and then when I started, I went to jail to Rikers Island, was when I was introduced to it the right way. Like, yo, you want to be king? And I was like, nah, I'm king already. Like, so whether I get crowned or not, I'm that. I always knew it was a movement for Latinos, but most importantly for people as a whole. It's just the Latinos dominated it. But from a long time ago, blacks were able to be kings. Anybody was able to be kings. It was just that it just so happens that, as sad as it may be, blacks were the main people that we wind up having a problem with as we was trying to uplift all people. And they got discluded kind of, sort of, for a little while. And because we never knew who you could have been. You could have been blood, you could have been Crip, you could have been folk, you could have been anything portraying to be king to find out what was going on. And ironically, that was actually happening. So it was probably the best thing that happened by them discluding them at those times.
Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. You know what I'm saying? Within gangs or whatever the hell else, to get information, and they blend in, and next thing you know, your whole organization is falling, and they know all your business. And you come to find out your mans was a Fed the whole time.
That's a fact. That's why sometimes it actually kills me, bro, when I see people like, oh, they was racist, or they wasn't letting in blacks. Bro, you don't know the whole story. You was never involved in none of that. You getting bits and pieces from the internet. You never lived it. You never asked the real dude that was there that's going to tell you the facts, that's not going to lit eye to you based on he's mad because he no longer could be king, or they put the blows on him, so he's always gonna talk bad, talk somebody that has no malice towards both sides, and there's not gonna favor one side. He's gonna tell you the fact. The main reason why they was discluded was A, B, and C. Jamaica has always been part of the Almighty Latin King lessons, and you could just Google that. It's part of the 5 Caribbean islands. It's in our lessons. How could something be in your lessons, but they not able to be a part of? It's unacceptable, and it's not even realistic, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Because I got a whole different, like, warped opinion of that, especially being the fact that when I was on Rikers Island, 2008 to 2009, I never really seen the Latin Kings go at it with Bloods. Like they was, like, pretty much in harmony, and they either was doing things together or they minded each other's business and still had a respect for people.